Because there might be a mistake, they say there already was such a case. Why do you tease him? The prince cried suddenly. You've driven him to tears, added Ferdishchenko. But Hippolyte was not crying at all. He tried to move from his place, but the 4 people standing around him suddenly all seized him by the arms. There was laughter. That's what he was getting at, that people should hold him by the arms, that's why he read his notebook, observed Rogozhin. Goodbye, Prince. We've sat enough, my bones ache. If you actually intended to shoot yourself, Terentiev, laughed Yevgeny Pavlovitch, then if I were in your place, after such compliments, I would deliberately not shoot myself, so as to tease them. They want terribly to see how I shoot myself. Hippolyte reared up at him. He spoke as if he were attacking him. They're vexed that they won't see it. So you, too, think they won't see it? I'm not egging you on the contrary, I think it's quite possible that you will shoot yourself. Above all, don't get angry, Yevgeny Pavlovitch drawled, drawing the words out patronizingly. Only now do I see that I made a terrible mistake in reading them this notebook, said Hippolyte, looking at Yevgeny Pavlovitch with such an unexpectedly trusting air as if he were asking friendly advice from a friend. The situation is ridiculous, but really, I don't know what to advise you, Yevgeny Pavlovitch replied, smiling. Hippolyte sternly looked at him point blank, not tearing his eyes away, and said nothing. One might have thought he was totally oblivious at moments. No, excuse me, sir, look at the way he does it, sir, said Lebedev. I'll shoot myself, he says, in the park, so as not to trouble anybody. So he thinks he won't trouble anybody if he goes 3 steps down into the garden. Gentlemen, the prince began. No, sir, excuse me, sir, my much esteemed prince, Lebedev latched on furiously, since you yourself are pleased to see that this is not a joke and since at least half of your guests are of the same opinion and are sure that now, after the words that have been spoken here, he certainly must shoot himself out of honor, then I, being the host, announce in front of witnesses that I am asking you to be of assistance. What needs to be done, Lebedev? I'm ready to assist you. Here's what. First of all, he should immediately hand over his pistol, which he boasted about to us, with all the accessories. If he hands it over, then I agree to allow him to spend this one night in this house, in view of his ill condition, and, of course, under supervision on my part. But tomorrow let him go without fail wherever he likes. Forgive me, Prince. If he doesn't hand over his weapon, then I at once, immediately, seize him by one arm, the general by the other, and also at once send somebody to notify the police, and then the matter passes over to the police for consideration, sir. Mr. Ferdishenko will go, sir, being an acquaintance. Noise broke out. Lebedev was excited and already overstepping the limits. Ferdishenko was preparing to go to the police. Ganya furiously insisted that no one was going to shoot himself. Yevgeny Pavlovich was silent. Prince, have you ever leapt from a belfry? Hippolyte suddenly whispered to him. And no, the prince answered naively. Do you really think I didn't foresee all this hatred? Hippolyte whispered again, flashing his eyes, and looking at the prince as if he indeed expected an answer from him. Enough! He cried suddenly to the whole public. I'm to blame, most of all. Lebedev, here's the key. He took out his wallet and from it a steel ring with 3 or 4 little keys on it. This one, the next to last, Kolya will show you, Kolya. Where's Kolya? He cried, looking at Kolya and not seeing him. Yes, he'll show you. He and I packed my bag yesterday. Take him, Kolya, in the prince's study, under the table, my bag, with this key, at the bottom, in the little box, my pistol and the powder horn. He packed it himself yesterday, Mr. Lebedev. He'll show you, so long as you give me back the pistol early tomorrow, when I go to Petersburg. Do you hear? I'm doing it for the prince, not for you. Well, that's better. Lebedev snatched the key and, smiling venomously, ran to the other room. Kolya stopped, was about to say something, but Lebedev pulled him after him. Hippolyte was looking at the laughing guests. The prince noticed that his teeth were chattering as if in a most violent chill. What scoundrels they all are! Hippolyte again whispered frenziedly to the prince. When he spoke to the prince, he kept leaning towards him and whispering. Let them be, you're very weak. 1 moment, I'll go in a moment. He suddenly embraced the prince. Maybe you find me crazy? He looked at him, laughing strangely. No, but you. 1 moment, be quiet, don't say anything, stand there, I want to look in your eyes, stand like that, let me look. Let me say goodbye to man. He stood and looked at the prince motionlessly and silently for about 10 seconds, very pale, his temples moist with sweat, and somehow clutching at the prince strangely with his hand, as if afraid to let him go. Hippolyte, Hippolyte, what's the matter? Cried the prince. One moment, enough, I'll lie down. I'll drink 1 gulp, to the son's health I want to, let me be.